Hello. So it is 4:01 a.m. where I am. My schedule since I've gotten to my newest location has been pretty nocturnal. I was just working on my second release of my version of a newsletter on Beehiv. I'm calling it the Recursive Pulse, and my next recording after this one, within the next day or so, is going to be the third Patreon overflow key in my Oraculous Lineage series, and this one is Avalon Druid Mists of Avalon connection. And once I release that, I will send out the second release of the Recursive Pulse newsletter. 0202 on the clock. So I have my phone clock and then the European time or military time clock. And all day I've been seeing 707, 303 or zero number, those type of combinations. I was really going to try and go to sleep, but honestly I'm not tired at this moment, and a different reading popped up on my YouTube page. And I had already watched it before, but I didn't recognize it, and something told me to click on it, and it was from weeks ago, and the person was like, I'm recording this at 4 a.m. And I looked at my clock and it was literally 4 a.m. on the dot. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I need to record something at this time at 4 a.m. So thank you to her for the inspiration. Mind you, I was already feeling this. So when that happened, it was just a confirmation. I almost pushed record a few times, but I was working on that recursive newsletter for a while. And I had recorded for Patreon for I think it was an hour and 50-minute transmission, so I thought I was finished, but apparently no. Okay, let me just take a second because sheep, you could be seeing sheep, or maybe you will soon. 404 on the clock now. I've been talking a lot about 404 error codes. And whenever, people make a lot of the sheep energy to be following, right? Following the crowd, following the herd sort of thing. But there's something about highlighting the positive aspects of the sheep. So I was walking to 333 on the timer, so many numbers. I was walking to the market today, and on the way back I didn't realize there was a whole field of sheep. I looked over and I saw one sheep, and then I stepped back and there were literally a whole field of sheep, and I was like, oh, I can't believe I hadn't seen these sheep before, because I've done this walk once or twice. I mean, they weren't out before, I meant to say. I've looked in that field and thought, why are there no animals here, actually? And then the next time when I came by, there were a bunch of sheep. Also, there's something significant about Odin has been coming through all day. And when I was walking back from the store, when I was walking to the store, the mountain had a gray mist cloud over the mountain, but it was still pretty light. So my Airbnb is right at the bottom of this mountain. And then right when I was leaving the store, I heard roaring thunder. And I was like, oh, I better get back soon. I think it's going to storm. And so funny, I was thinking of when you check the weather on your app, but when you're near this mountain, you don't need an app. You just look at the mountain and it tells you the weather, what's about to happen, because it comes in first over the mountain, so you get to see what's going on. And sure enough, the thunder kept getting louder, and almost when I got right to the Airbnb, like right, so like when you come up to the property, there's so much construction going on right now, so it's a little bit of a maze, but as soon as I got like right to the entranceway, it started to rain, and I was like, whoa. Anyway, so rain has been coming up, wind, rain, the elements, elementals, and there was this dog that came up to me when I was walking back. It was so cute, and it had a little limp, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, does it need help? But it had a collar on, so I just kind of sat with it for a second and sent it love, and then it walked me the rest of the way back. It wasn't that much further, but it walked me back, and I was like, oh no, it's about to rain. I was going to get it some water, and it kind of like walked me to one of the first trees on the property. And then like I just looked at it and I almost started crying because I didn't know if it needed help. Like I couldn't tell at first. And then the dog like walked away before I could get at anything. And I was like typing out my feelings into Gemini, and just like sometimes I do that to get it out of my head. And the perspective that came back was really nice, and it was basically just saying like a frequency exchange. You know, like animals around in different parts of the world are like very resilient, and I know that because this is not my first rodeo with seeing animals be more free roam, but it was just a nice reminder. Anyway, so I think all this is coming through. There could be some animal interactions that you've been having. I also have been having a lot of dreams with animals. And there's something about like, familiars, or just I'm being shown this message that came through my mom, or for my mom, through me for my mom, about one of her dogs. And it was about like sort of like a contract to help her. This is not at all where I thought these messages were going. Like a contract to assist her in keeping her heart open, essentially. And I feel like this is a collective message as well with a lot of these deeper animal experiences, whether it's like a personal pet and or experiences that you're having just maybe that are in passing, maybe fostering, like whatever it is for you. The word I cut myself off was fostering, but yeah, it could be different for each person, or multiple things of this. So a sheep flock spirit animal message could be symbolizing community, innocence, gentle vulnerability, and a need for inner peace, encouraging a return to gentle childlike innocence and the comfort of connection with others. It can often highlight a potential tendency to conform, urging balance between trusting in a quote flock or community and maintaining personal identity. So interesting, because in the Patreon overflow that I recorded today, tell me why the name just left my brain. Yes, Gradient Aura and Lyrid Transmission. A lot was coming through about like different people over time who have essentially like, for some reason the words are not coming to me. So maybe I'll just kind of redirect. But basically, I've been guided a lot lately to kind of bring through just about like maintaining your own identity and individuated process while also like aligning with the collective and cycles and rhythms and stuff like this. So that doesn't surprise me, and that this essence of the sheep flock is coming through. Okay, I just heard Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, which is from what, Snow White? Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Scrying could be significant. Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. For some of you, and this came through recently, like your reflection could be changing. You could be having deeper scrying sessions or any starting scrying. There's also like the theme of Snow White is coming through. So in Snow White, I think the wicked stepmom, right? Or who was she? I can't remember which villain was in Snow White, but she utilizes scrying as like a spying tool. So there could be something like I'm not getting anything specific except like evil stepmom kind of energy. I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe even watching like movies with that storyline, or there could be something like that. 11:11 on the timer. I will be doing a hieroglyphic template union tap-in this week because there have been at least 3 to 4 dreams in a row that have been unfolding this week about this dynamic, and I have so many notes at this point, but it just hasn't felt like the right time. There's been a lot of things coming through that like there's such a like divine timing too. I also have been talking about going live. I went live once, and I have this other live, the Pink Water Transmission live, that's connected to the hieroglyphic template, and like it just hasn't been the right moment, but I have it ready to go as soon as that moment aligns. So there could be things for you as well where it feels like you have like plans for things, but there's just sort of a different order than you planned of things unfolding. And yeah, 4:14 on my clock, and 12:21, 12:22. I just posted a transmission talking about 4:14, 1s and 4s, so there could be a connection there. December birthdays could be relevant. I just heard that for someone. 22. Oh, yeah, okay. So I had a dream recently. So many dreams, by the way. I've been talking a lot about flickering lights and or like technology, glitches, quantum leaps, timeline. I was talking about this on Patreon today, but there was something all day, actually like the last 2 days, coming through what I call it like the highest divine timeline, but whatever it is for you, there's something about a collective of us that have come into the awareness that we've all just, there's like another availability of, you know, people are calling it like dream timeline, highest time, whatever it is for you. There's so many labels. And I feel like we've been having so many shifts recently, like, and timeline collapses. So it's more like so many timelines that are no longer serving, that are like collapsing, that are like allowing for this highest divine timeline to like be cohesive, like to come together. I had a vision of an owl the other night. It just like flashed to me. And then I was listening, I was guided to click on something, and an owl like immediately was brought up. And it was a lot about like finances and career and money. And then that night, or the night before or night after, I can't remember, I had a dream about like, so I talked about this dream in a different transmission, but there were so many layers to this dream that like different parts of the dream are coming through. It was like an ancestor visit dream. I think I talked about it in like the last transmission that I posted on YouTube. But the one part of the dream I don't think I mentioned was there were like stacks of money in the dream, and I was like holding stacks of money. Maybe I did talk about it, I don't know, but I was like using this money, supposed to be using it for a specific thing, and I didn't want to, and I was trying to like be creative about the thing that I needed it for so that I could use the money for something else. And recently I just found some, I don't know if I talked about this already too, but I just found some colones from Costa Rica that were just like in my little wallet thing. I was mixing them up with the euro accidentally. So I decided to put them, I have like a little table in here, and I made like, I haven't had a little altar in a while because I've been like popping around. So I just made a little altar and I put like the stacks of coins there. So stacks of coins or like something like that could be significant for some of you. Maybe you're finding coins. Does anyone remember Sister Act 2? For some reason, the one part where they sing, wake up and pay attention. If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. I don't know why that's been playing in my head, so that could be significant for someone. Again, I don't remember if I spoke about this recently, and I've been so like, I hope I don't repeat myself, like, but something that I do realize is that sometimes things come through multiple times, because I know for me anyway, like sometimes we need to hear something multiple times or hear it in a different way. You know, there's like multiple reasons why this could happen. And that is one of the things that I don't know, I really try not to repeat myself. But at this point, sometimes, yeah, it's just happening. I'm seeing these really beautiful, like opalescent orbs floating. There were just 1, 2. There's a third one, but the third one's a little bit different. And this like neon pink. It's hard to explain what I'm seeing with the neon pink. It's almost like a geometric realm that forms, and I'll see it in different colors, and right now it's forming in pink. Ooh, yeah. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Irritants. There could be like old reminders of like things that irritate you, especially things that you thought that you already cleared coming back around. I wrote that down the other day, maybe yesterday, to talk about. And just some like Carl Jung like psychology videos have been popping up as like a reminder. I mean, I've tapped into this so many times over the years, but yeah, just like there could be like these little bits of, I mean, for some of you, if you're new to this could be like something you're getting into. But for some of you, if you've already kind of been doing this a while, there could just be this like last little bit coming in. And an example that was coming through was like 0220 on the clock, a reminder of like, or an example of a shadow of if like arrogance irritates you, like what would be like the shadow of that. And perhaps you've in some way given away your, like deflated, is that a word? Deflated your confidence, given away your power, not being afraid to take up space, be seen. So like arrogance might really irritate you. Something like that is an example. Precipice. Yeah. So the precipice of this newness that is here. It's like there may just be a few little shards or irritants kind of floating around. It doesn't feel like that. It will be, it will be different for each person depending on the intensity, but that's just, again, an example. Yeah, I'm kind of getting a vision of someone like finally cleaning out like an old closet or something, or an old drawer, or making space for something. But before you can put the new stuff in, there's maybe some cobwebs to clean out, And some people don't clean it. They just pop the new thing right in there, and then the dust accumulates. So it's really up to you if you want to clear out the cobwebs, literally, metaphorically, whatever, but that's just the way it's coming in. Ooh, psychometry. I'm being shown psychometry. I haven't said that word in so long, and I love psychometry. Yeah. now it's 0222 on the clock. There may be, some of you may be like waking up to the gift I feel like I'm speaking Japanese. It's not Japanese can be significant. I do not speak Japanese, by the way, but I just felt like I was speaking an Asian language or hearing an Asian language. Not that they are all the same, they are all unique, but for some reason Japanese came to mind. I'm also seeing Korea, Vietnamese, Cantonese. Now I really want some Asian food. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Psychometry. If you're unfamiliar with psychometry, it's essentially like being able to read energy from an object or like feel an emotion from an object. This came through a transmission like months ago, but I'm getting it again where maybe like a same person is listening to this, or maybe there's like a new wave of people coming in. But have you ever like perhaps you get nauseated or overwhelmed in like overcluttered areas, or like thrift stores or like antique places where stuff is like really old or like passed down? I don't know, I'm seeing an estate sale for someone. Or like, you know, sometimes you go to like someone's house and there's just like a lot. I'm getting like, my head is starting to itch, like, you know, there's something like that coming through. I also, again, cannot remember if I already said this in another transmission, but I kept getting the image of Alice in Wonderland when she's like outgrowing a house. You know, she like gets really small and gets really big. I've noticed a theme whenever I'm about to like leave an environment. You know, I've been like not really living in the same place longer than a certain amount of time for the past few years. And like, I know I'm getting ready to leave an environment when all of a sudden, like, everything around me feels so small. Like, I feel like I just keep bumping into everything. Even, like, my hometown, like, when I was, like, going back to visit, even if I was, like, outside, I still felt like I just felt like Alice in Wonderland in that house, or, like, a specific location. Like, if I was there a certain amount of time and I was, like, not sure how, you know, I was either going to get the funds to go or something, I would get this feeling like that Alice in Wonderland feeling, and then boom, like something would change and I was able to leave. So it doesn't have to be that specific, but there could be something similar to that. Of your current reality where you feel like you've outgrown something, and, you know, kind of like the hermit crab outgrown its shell sort of vibe, and sometimes it has to leave its shell and be like naked and vulnerable and exposed to get to its new shell. So some of you could be in that energy right now, or stepping into it, or just stepping out of it. Yeah, I feel that. Something also that's been coming through a lot, I was talking about NDEs, or near-death experiences, not that long ago. The wind just started to pick up so much when I said that. I don't know if you heard that. When I was recording a few hours ago, the wind was so strong, and it kind of calmed down, and now it just kind of picked up again. But I've been talking a lot about like the elementals, the sylphs have been coming through the last day or two, the wind, totally just lost my train of thought. Let me see if it comes right back. Actually, right before I was leaving my last destination, where I'm from, a few weeks ago, not even a few weeks ago, less than a week ago, I saw a license plate with my name on it, like JSS. And so I looked it up, and I was seeing like so many number synchronicities on the way to the airport. I'm talking like 555, 666, 777, 880, like just repeating. Like I just kept seeing, it was like maybe a 40-minute drive. And so the number that came up on my license plate sparked my attention. And it said, angel number 5164, that was a number on the license plate, is a message of reassurance to trust the positive changes you are creating through your hard work, focus, and adaptability. It signifies a time to release anxiety about finances or stability, encouraging faith that your efforts are aligning with your life's purpose and leading to long-term rewards. And it's so funny because there were a lot of synchronicities around that as well, that message. And I forgot about that because I wrote this down however long ago. And once I got to the airport, and then like the next day or two that followed, I heard so many songs in like the most unassuming places that were so synchronistic to my current like life. And I kept hearing in my head, like my guides like joking around like Jess's playlist, you know, so there could be something like this for you, like whether it's that as well, like maybe you have songs that come at the craziest times that make no sense, or like there's just something in the air that feels like your environment is like supporting you in some way, or like things are coming through for you that feel very like, you know, oh, do you hear that wind pick up? Yeah, like directly to you. My head just started to ache a little bit. And I've been feeling these like undercurrents of head pressure, and I've been talking about this for a bit the last few days. So just really taking care of yourself right now in whatever way that feels good for you. And if you're already doing that, then that's great. I was looking back through my notes, and I did write down closing out parallel timelines, and I think I was just talking about that. I forgot that I had written that down, so I know that I was on one energetic strand and it completely redirected, so I'll just trust that if whatever that train of thought was supposed to be, it will come back. If not, that's okay. I'm seeing like very colorful houses. Like maybe someone here is in a neighborhood with very colorful houses, or maybe that's like a dream of yours or something. Like, yeah, I'm just seeing like very colorful, like almost like pastel colored houses especially. But there's something about the subconscious mind. Whenever I have dreams of houses, and each room can represent like a subconscious aspect, and it feels like there's this upgrade to like a subconscious upgrading is happening. So, and when I say upgrading, it feels like there's again the clear. There's something like flashing on my phone. It must be like reflecting, but it keeps like catching my eye. There was a transmission that I did like a couple months ago, upgrade uploading. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but yeah, this kind of feels like for those of us who are like addressing those cobwebs, metaphorically, literally, there's like this, yeah, the best way I could say it is subconscious upgrading that's materializing somehow. And for someone, maybe it's a pastel colored home. I don't know. It's very specific, but it's also like getting into some of like, I've been talking a lot about like the heliotalic spectrum or the pastel like etheric templates. I was talking a lot about that today on YouTube, or sorry, on Patreon on the Overflow. So there could be connections there, but I'm seeing the letter P. I'm also seeing pearls have been coming up. Speaking of irritants, like the process of a pearl. I felt like something just pinched me on my left arm, pinch pulse. Specifically, it was the forearm. Hmm. 29 on the timer. I just was reminded of the energetic strand that started to run away, but I feel it now. I was talking about near-death experiences or NDEs, and just similar like experiences, you know, like medicinal, like people who do plant medicine and then have experiences, or people who have like out-of-body experiences, visions, but there's something really significant about, I've listened to so many over the years of people's near-death experiences and basically everything I just named. I went through phases where I was like, people's hypnosis experiences. And something that I've noticed is like when people have this experience, they tend to say like, I know the answer to, or now I know this, as like this absolute. And I think because perhaps this is becoming more talked about, which is really exciting actually. I just wanted to like share some of the themes that I've noticed, and from doing my best to like understand and study different like ascension mechanics and ways that some of the consciousness structures, if that is even a thing, work. They say like how we perceive something, even in these altered states, has a lot to do with our own experiences, mental processes, etc. So like so many people, when they have these experiences, will say like, oh, I met Jesus, or I saw, enter in popular schools of thought or popular like beliefs or ideologies. And that's not to like discredit this in any way. There's just something significant coming through about, again, like in the beginning with the sheep, like there's things that are coming out in like archetypes, communities, more mainstream things, but there's something about like your own individual experience and like trusting those versions, because it's like understanding the bigger picture and how our own beliefs, consciousness, experiences play a role in these out-of-body or altered states of consciousness is so important right now. I don't know, that doesn't really want to come through. I've had that written down for like a while, and I do go more into some of these things. Now is not the moment to go deeper into that, but especially with a lot of this like timeline shifting and timeline work, and yeah, that just wanted to come through. Also, before I wrap up, just got very thirsty. The number 3131 has been coming through, repeating numbers, mirroring numbers. You may have just heard me gulp my water. Oh no. I got some on the bed, and it's literally, this is crazy, it's in like a phallic shape, the water. And I've been saying that I'm going to record a like masculine feminine hieroglyphic template check-in, and like literally there's a phallic shaped water stain on my bed right now. It's just very funny. Yeah, so stay tuned for that if that's something that interests you. But I keep like going to end the recording, but I just keep like feeling like there's something else. So you could have this feeling too, like you can feel something coming, but you're not, like, you can't quite put your finger on it. Yeah, and just back to like the second house in astrology, like resources. I'm seeing like Taurus, creature comforts, money. Yeah, things like this. It does feel like there's a window for a lot of us, of opportunity, expansion, things like that coming in. As well as the 7th house is very highlighted. I'm also seeing the 9th house, like higher learning, philosophy, Sagittarius. So, yeah, stay tuned. I don't know. Again, I'm still feeling that like lingering feeling, so I'm just acknowledging that. And I've been doing a lot of like back to basics where I am here, and like resting, but also like creating and just like doing my best to take my time. So that could be something maybe some of you are also kind of tapping into at the moment. Or maybe you've been like feeling like craving that. Yeah, because my head just started hurts. Maybe for some of you, it's like something you've been like wishing for or like wanting to do. Yeah, and it feels like maybe just with some organizing and shifting of priorities, like it feels like there will be an opening for that in some way. I guess I'm being shown those like green pastures again with sheep. Maybe for someone like Ireland, Scotland, Wales, like that part of the world, England. But I'm also seeing like rural parts of America. Now I'm being shown like Bogota, Argentina, Chile, like that part of the world. Asia already came up, different parts of Asia. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Ooh, I just felt like it also, I was taking a bite of something like really creamy. I've been craving a lot of like creamy things this week. Here, I forget what it's called, K-Mac or something. It's like a creamy, it's so good. I've been putting that on like most of my food. But I just like heard someone say like bagel and schmear. Maybe someone's been craving like bagel and cream cheese or just cream cheese or cream cheese pasta. Yeah, it's like something like creamy things. Like I'm just seeing like white chocolate. I was just writing about that actually. This week I was really craving white chocolate. Yeah. Or like frothy milk. Like there's been a lot of that. So there's like the Hathors are coming through, nurturants. I was just writing about this as well, like the Ma frequency or the Ma, which I'll get into that another time if I'm also writing about that in my recursive, so there will be a little bit of information on that, and I also talked about it in the Patreon overflow today that I already mentioned. So okay, thank you.